What's up, guys? So one of the most frequently asked questions I get is, what's your hydro setup? I put a hydro handbrake in this car over a year ago, and I'm going to make this video to show you guys how it works. So to start off, let's explain a traditional hydraulic handbrake setup. So on cars with ABS, from like, I don't know, let's just say like my E28 was an 85 and had ABS. So 85 to like 98 or something in the M3s, E46s, the ABS system used two brake outputs in the front, one for each individual wheel, and then a single output for the rear wheels. And it would tee off at the back of the car and then run to each individual caliper. With my car, being that it's more modern, I have true four-wheel ABS. And what that means is I have four individual brake lines that run out of the ABS module and to each individual caliper. So the only problem that poses is I couldn't run a traditional handbrake setup where you would tee from the brake output to the rear, run that into the hydro, and then run the hydro line out back into the T, which went to the rear wheels. So fortunately, I was lucky enough that I have the DSC distribution block right under my brake master. So I was able to run lines forward and into the DSC control unit instead of having to do some weird crazy plumbing system or go to a dual caliper. So let's see, what can I say? Alright, we'll start off with the handbrake. So the handbrake is an ISR Performance Gen 1, I believe. I got it on Black Friday, like 2.5 years ago or something, from Injuku for like 80 bucks, I think, maybe 100. Can't remember. It was super cheap. And then what I ended up doing, because I didn't know at the time, I thought I just had a traditional rear brake setup, I ordered the Driftworks Line Kit. So there you can see I actually ended up using it and it ended up working, but I had to do a little bit of a modification. So I really like these lines. They're banjo fittings and they're actually even bent down, so my lines run off and then right under and out of the way, so I was able to conceal that whole set. Let me hop out so you can see. But absolutely no visible lines running there, so that's really, really cool. I'm super stoked about that. I don't know if you can see them right there, probably not. But they run up and this way, out, up under the dash. There's a little output there. It goes into what's actually the Dme Box. So for those of you who don't have BMWs, DME is digital motor electronics. Same thing as an ECU, but that's just what I've used because I work for Mini/BMW. So this is where my ECU DME thing is. The lines run into that and then out. So let's see if I can show you. Hopefully I have enough light. No, I don't have enough light. Okay, let me grab my flashlight. Yeah, I did. Sweet. Oh, sorry. This thing's a pain. Alright, dim is setting. So, anyways, if we look down here, so that right there is my ABS distribution block, and you can see one of the Driftworks lines right about there running. I believe that's the, yeah, that's the input. Yeah, that's input. So if you see the letters there, those are engraved. So fortunately, although it does distribute to four individual wheels, the master still runs front and rear. So what I did was run one line from my master, which is right there, into the hydro, and then from the hydro back forwards instead of rearwards, sorry, to the ABS distribution block, and then that runs to the rear section of the ABS distribution block, which sends the braking force to the rear wheels. So if I really wanted to, I could put one on the front. That would be stupid, but it'd be kind of funny to see what it does. It's a super simple setup. I think all in all, I paid under $300, I'll say. Pretty sure under $300. The only thing I had to do, and now if you're watching this and you have an E46, you need to buy, I can't remember the numbers, but it's like what the heck are they? They're like M8 or M10 by 1.0 brass brake fitting adapters, and I had to use those because the Driftworks lines have banjo fittings on both. Oh no, one of them has a banjo fitting and the other one, oh no, I'm sorry, it's M10 to M12. So yeah, it's M10 by 1.0 to M12 by 1.0 brass brake fitting adapters, and those allowed me to use the brake line fitting that's on the Driftworks lines, and those worked. Actually, they worked with the crush rings that came with it, so nothing leaks. There's no nothing sketchy about it. Super solid setup. The only thing that I do think is a little iffy, I've driven other cars with standalone hydros and even other inlines with the traditional 2-to-1 rear brake system setup, and they do seem to be quite a bit more effective. This hydro requires quite a bit of effort, which could be partly because my brake lines are old and swollen and my rear brake pads are worn to like 1 millimeter and the rotors are below spec, so that could be part of it, but either way, it works. It gets the job done for now. Once the car's sideways or if there's any kind of momentum in any direction, it'll lock the wheels immediately. It's a super solid setup, very reliable, fairly consistent. I do believe that because it's run through the ABS system, it may be somehow actuating it or causing the brake fluid to aerate as well. So I think in the near future, I'd like to go to a full dual caliper setup just for consistency and efficiency as well, because having to pull that hydro really hard is not fun. And lastly, before the video closes, so the ISR Performance Handbrake, actually I'll go to the other side. It's cheap and it's not very ergonomic. A lot of the handbrakes have everybody has a weird looking handle. I don't know why, but you can see the handle's like super ribbed. I don't know how to explain that, but it hurts. I did a couple 2-day events, and even on the 1-day events, I'll usually leave with bruised palm, and at mid-pond when I did the 2-day event, I actually left with a chunk of skin ripped off my palm. So as far as the grip goes, definitely wouldn't recommend it. I think the Gen 2 one is a little bit better, but I've also used handbrakes like ASD and even a homemade one, and both those handles were way better. So I think it would be worth it to purchase a more expensive handbrake just so you don't have to deal with the ripped off skin. I don't know if you can see, but there's a callus ripped off thingy from it. I actually just got gloves, so that's way better. Hey pup. Sorry guys, my phone died. Anyway, that's my hydro setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll answer them. Anyways, feel free to also hit like and subscribe if you want to see more video content like this. I can walk you through anything on my car if you want to know. Just tell me you want it, and I'll do it. Thanks for watching.